guys, this is just an update on what I've been up to in the past few months since I last made a video, and it will mostly have to do with nursing. So I don't have a nursing job yet, which kind of sucks. I've been applying to possibly hundreds of jobs in the past 6 months since graduating, and I've had a total of 3 interviews out of those hundreds of applications. So the first one, I might have mentioned it before, was last October, and nothing came of it. I was interviewed, but I didn't get the job. And then my second and third interviews were both this past week. So that was kind of interesting to go for 4 months, having heard nothing back from the hospitals that I applied to, and then all of a sudden in 1 week, I got asked for by 2 different hospitals to be interviewed. So that was kind of interesting. So one interview was in person at a hospital, and the second, and that went well. And the second one, it was for an agency that does community nursing, and it was for an RN position in the child and family division. So I would be if I got the job, I would be going to the homes of chronically ill children or palliative children and caring for them in their homes. So that'd be kind of interesting, and I do love working with kids, so that would be great if I got that job. So I did the phone interview this past Thursday, I believe, and then shortly afterward they called me back and said they would love to interview me in person. So I'm going on Wednesday, so in 2 days I'm going for my in-person interview, so that's kind of exciting. So hopefully I'll get one of those jobs, and I'll actually be able to start my career as a nurse, which I'm really, really excited about doing. So while I've been looking for nursing jobs, I've still been working with the community agency that I think I probably talked about in one of my past videos, where I'm working as a nurse, but it's not very challenging work, I guess. But something interesting about the job that I'm with right now is that one of the client that I'm working with now full-time, he actually has a house down in the Bahamas that he goes to every winter. And so this winter he can't be alone. He needs supervision because he has fallen in the past, and he needs supervision and some safety management to make sure he doesn't fall again. So I went down with him to the Bahamas for 2 weeks, so that was kind of exciting. And they wanted me to go back with him in March, but they needed me to commit to it by today, by this afternoon, and I wasn't able to because I don't know yet what's going to happen with the jobs I've interviewed for. If I get them, one of those jobs, then I'm not going to be able to go down to the Bahamas. So I told them I'm sorry, that they would have to find somebody else. So they are gonna find somebody else to go down with him. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool that I went to the Bahamas with a client. I don't know, I never really thought that would happen. Or that's actually not something I ever thought about happening, because it's so outside the realm of I don't know, it's who would even have thought that was possible? Anyway, so I went, and it was okay, but it's kind of odd to say that it was okay because it was the Bahamas, so for sure it must have been amazing. But really it was just okay because it's this older man who he can't walk on the sand because of his balance problems. So I went to the beach once, and it was just for 10 minutes. And for the most part, he just liked to stay in his house and read. So I'm not too sure why he likes to go to the Bahamas, because really he does the same thing down there as he does where we live. So I don't know. But anyway, it was cool to go to the Bahamas, and I did get to see a little bit of the island. We were on the main island in New Providence, or the island of New Providence, I guess. And yes, so I think that's all I have to say about that. But I would say that my anxiety didn't really, I wasn't really affected by my anxiety, I would say, while I was down there. So that's definitely good. So that's definitely something that is good, and that a few years ago I wouldn't have thought possible. Like, I wouldn't have thought it was possible to go to a new place pretty much by myself and not feel anxious about it. And I say pretty much by myself because the older man, he's not really much of a help. If I needed anything, like needed directions or anything, he wouldn't have been able to help me. Anyway, so that's that. And as for my nursing interviews, some people have asked me for like nursing school tips and stuff like that relating to nursing school in the past. So if anyone is interested in me talking about my interviews, I can go ahead and make another video about that. And that's certainly something that I wouldn't mind doing. And I think that's probably pretty much it for now. I don't really have much more to say because my life is kind of boring. But oh, and I know that some of you watching only watch my videos for the Paxil like part of it, because you want to know how I'm doing on my Paxil, and a lot of you are also taking Paxil and want to know if the progress that you've made with it is the same as like my progress on it. So I will go ahead and say that I'm still taking 60 milligrams of Paxil, and that is still really helping me. So I don't have a reason to stop taking it or to increase the dosage or change the dosage in any way because it's working for me. Something that is interesting is that back in November or December of this past year, I went to see a neurologist because I'd had like a lot of like weird symptoms, not related to anxiety, but like physical symptoms. And I've seen like many doctors about this, and no one has been able to come up with anything. But this neurologist that I saw, he thought that it's possible that I was experiencing migraines, but experiencing it in a way that's not common really at all. He said he's seen my symptoms before in patients who had migraines, but it's really rare to have migraines but not have like really a headache. It was more like a dizziness and like sort of coordination problem that left me feeling kind of like the inside of my head was kind of fuzzy, like a cotton ball. And so he started me on nortriptyline, and it has worked perfectly for my migraine symptoms, if that's what it was that I had. I haven't been dizzy or anything since starting taking the nortriptyline. But I also wonder what effect that's having on keeping my depression away, even though that's not the reason that I'm taking it. So possibly the nortriptyline and the Paxil are working together to keep my depression away, while the Paxil for sure is helping with my anxiety. But for anybody who cares, I'm taking 30 milligrams of nortriptyline every day, on top of the 60 milligrams of Paxil. So that's that. That's my update. And let me know if you want to see a video on nursing interview tips. That's all for now. Bye, guys.